What's up, grinders? Welcome back to the channel. Okay, so I'm making a quick video today because a bunch of you guys wanted to know how I went with my Esperanto C1 exam. Technically, it's not over, and I'll say why now. Okay, so I'm doing I did the written, listening, and then the speaking portion actually will happen next week. It's not going to be a very long portion, and it's actually the part I feel most confident about. But I can talk about the written aspect and the listening aspect, okay? So, first up, props to any motherfucker out there who decides to go and do one of these tests. By God, that is draining. That is exhausting, okay? So, the written portion of the test, I think all up is like 4 hours. I lost track of time, okay? So it took roughly that long. And then the listening portion, they say is 40 minutes, but it feels like fucking 25 seconds, okay? Okay, let's start with the written side. Now, I'm not going to tell you what was in the test because I don't know, I'm not even sure if I'm allowed to talk about that. But so I'll just tell you my feelings from the different sections. So the first section was basically where you just get drilled on your grammar, okay? Now, overall, when I was doing this, I was like, okay, most of these things I was pretty confident about, and then there was other things I was like, but this is kind of a point of discussion. Some people say it this way, some people say it that way, and I was like, which way do I go? What's the general consensus here? So, I feel okay with that stuff. There was one section, though, that kind of cooked me, which was hard. They gave you, this article, and literally every second line was a fill-in line. And you'd have this drop down of I think it was 12 different options. And these 12 different options filled in 12 different places within this article. So when you first get this article, you have no idea what it's about. Because every second sentence is missing. In some cases, every sentence is missing. So then you're playing a jigsaw puzzle, trying to put these little pieces in and here and there, and you're and they can fit in multiple places, okay? So it was just this was less about language ability and more about just persistence, I felt. Okay, that one was painful. I'm pretty sure I got that 90% right, but there's 2 sentences in there where I'm I'm not sure. I'm really not sure, okay, because they could be flipped around or something like that. It's nah. And the worst part is, after that, there was a small section where you had to write about that article. So I was okay, let's hope those sentences don't impact too much on what I'm about to write here. Now, that also led into the written part of the exam, the second part of the exam. So basically, we had to write an article, and then we also had to write a professional letter. That was so easy for me. That was oh, thank the gods. I just chillaxed and just wrote that, because I've written so many letters before and stuff, and it was just that was relaxing, comforting. I was quite at home. I finished pretty early on that, and I kind of just sat there freaking on the seat, just rotating on the spot type of thing. I was pretty chill with that. But the first section, with all the grammar exercises and stuff, there's some points in there where I was I'm not too sure about this stuff, okay? So, hope it doesn't impact me too bad. Now, here comes the painful one. The listening test. By God, I was not mentally prepared for that. That was evil. On a new level of evil, okay? So, what happened was, they hit you with, I think it's a 2, 3, maybe 4 minute long speech, okay, about just some random topic. They're blah, blah, blah. They talk about it and you're oh, okay, yeah. And then you get 2 minutes to answer all these questions about the thing, okay? And I had a little notebook and I was taking notes, and you're trying to take notes, but you can really just take a couple, because otherwise you're going to miss large portions of it. And you're given all these questions, and then they're here's all the different possible answers. Now you have to elect the one that wasn't said, okay? And I was oh no, I was looking for things that were said, not said. And it was stressful, okay, going through that one. And then afterwards you had, and then you listen to it once more. So you've got a kind of a general gist because you've tried to start filling in stuff, and then you got to finish filling it in, okay? And once you get to that second, you got to finish filling it in. There's a section down the bottom where you then need to write about what you just heard, a summary type of thing. And you only get 3 minutes. And answering all these questions and then writing that, you're just freaking, you're going as fast as you can. You're not even having time to check if you're making any mistakes at all. You're just smash typing, okay? And then the second article comes by, and that one hit me pretty fast and hard as well. Now, here's the things, okay? Both of these articles are completely comprehensible. It was not like one word I did not understand in them. It was just the amount of information. It was just so information dense that I was just trying to contain all this information in my head. And like, the next one just had even more questions, and I managed to answer all of them on the second go round, but there was a section down the bottom where they were asking about specific words that were mentioned in the actual like in the recording type of thing, and I was like, crap, I can't remember what the specific words were. Like, I've got the general concept and the gist of everything that was said type of thing, but I can't remember the specific words. And there was at least one of them that, well, I'm not going to say one, there was probably all of them. I just kind of guessed from memory what they were, but I have no idea if that was correct or not, okay? So it's like, I may have legitimately just completely failed the listening test. I have no idea. Understood it perfectly fine. It was just so goddamn information dense. It's just crazy. Okay, now next week coming up will be my speaking test. And the speaking test will basically... I feel pretty confident about that. Like, I've done a lot of speaking in Esperanto. Like, I'm pretty sure there's, like, nothing they can really hit me with. I hope they don't watch this video. They'll find something otherwise. But, like, I feel pretty confident about that one coming up. But coming into this, I did not expect the listening one to be the one that would just smash me over the head with, like, a friggin' club. That just came out of nowhere. That was so hard. So, yeah, I'm like... I don't know, okay? So... yeah, I may legitimately failed the listening one. I don't know. Like, I don't know. Like, there was... The questions I was able to answer, but there was this one section of where I was asking about the specific words that were said that... I didn't capture those words. Damn. Wish I could do it one more time. But the reason I did this overall, guys, as well, because obviously I'm not going to ever work as like an Esperanto interpreter or something like that. I just wanted to see what a C1 level test is like, so that when I'm doing these types of judgment calls and stuff like that, and, you know, in videos, that I would be able to know what people go through at this level. And I'm going to say, okay, that's a freaking hard test. Like, that's a hard test. Writing, I'm fine. Probably speaking, I'll be fine. But that listening, I'm just going to keep hammering on that one. If you plan to do this test, bruh, be ready to get hit with some information, dense, like, friggin' content. And then, on top of it, have, like... They say you get 2 to 3 minutes, or 2 minutes. It does not feel like 2 minutes. It feels like you're getting 50 seconds max to like, answer all the questions. Yeah. What I would say is, if you want to prepare for that type of thing, listen to a podcast and just try to remember everything, and then write it down as fast as you can, and listen to another one, listen to another one. That is less about language, and it's more about how much you can remember. And I would say the first part of the written test was also more about, are you good at putting like jigsaws together in a way than like the language. In fact, I'd say the C1 levels, it's less about language and it's more about tricks in some ways. Except for like the letter writing and all that stuff. That was just whatever. Anyway, I'm gonna chillax and take the rest of the night off. I am cooked. I'm burnt. This was like all up 5 hours worth of friggin' stuff. Bruh. I never want to have to do this again. God, thank God I don't work in the language space and I just do this for shits and giggles. I'll see you all in the next video.